Now to cache out the fluid, the particles, we need to get a new we need a new geometry node. So let's call this fluid mesh, because eventually we will be creating a polygonal mesh from these points in here. So I'm going to dive inside here and get a .io we can use. Okay, and then we need to connect up the DOP network here. So find flipsim, and the DOP node will be the object. So in the flipsim, the flip object. Okay, so the flip object is, we go inside here, this thing. Okay, and that's always the same for whenever you're importing geometry from your simulation. You'll have like the pop solver for particles and a pop object. Okay, drop that in, so it'll be the same. Okay, you'd be importing the pop object, flip object, you have a vellum object. Okay, so it's they all tend to have the same framework, right? You have a solver, your objects, and then other things around it. Okay, delete those. So there, we got those two there. We still don't see anything. We need to just click on this to import something. By default, it will import the geometry, which are the particles. And then if we go to the first frame, frame 60, you see our particles. So there we've got our particles in the SOP context now. So we'll add a file cache here. Before I do that, we're going to do some retiming to this. So I'm going to grab an object merge here, and I'm going to find the strawberries. So I'm going to go to my strawberry RBD, and there I placed an out at the end. Okay, and then I've got my strawberry simulation without the deletion. Okay, the full thing. So we're going to work on these to play with the time a bit more. What we can do is use a time shift, which I think we used a time shift in the first week, if I remember correctly. So in case you don't remember, so whatever number is in here, so at the moment we got 25, it's going to show me what we have at frame 25. So if I just delete the channel there and put 45, it's going to show me whatever is at frame 45, but all the time, because this number isn't changing, it's just showing me frame 45. If I put $F, and $F is the current frame number, which is 39, it's going to show me what we have at frame 39. So we can play with this number to give us different effects, right? So what I can do is divide this by 3, and this will effectively slow down what I've got. So if I template without the time shift, the object merge, and then we can see the difference between the two. Okay, we get that slowing down. Now you can see it's kind of jumping there, it's a bit jagged. So what we need to do is just turn off this integer frame. So integer means, you know, without a floating point. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we don't have that information there. So to go into floating points, we need to turn off this integer frames. Now if we go back, we get this nice smooth animation. And to get it to catch up a little bit, I'm just going to, if I put it forward so you can see what I'm doing, we can just simply add 40. Okay. So obviously it won't be exactly the same, but it's roughly around the same time. Cool. So grab this same thing. So remember, whoops, get rid of that. Alt click and drag to copy that time shift, connect it up. So we got the same thing happening to the particles. I'm going to turn off that template, and then drop a file cache. Okay, and we're going to do from frame we'll delete the channels from frame 60 to 225. I think we want to do, yeah. All right, and before we start, I'm going to click load from disk. We'll get an error, but that's okay. It's because there's nothing on the disk yet. We haven't saved it. And go to load from file. No geometry. It's not too important. It just kind of annoys me to see the error, to be honest. We still get a little one, but it won't affect anything down the chain after if we don't have anything there. Cool. And we need a file path, so we'll save it in our hip. In geo is fine. Let's call it particles dot version 1, and then we need $F and then 3 for file padding of 3 dot geo, and I think that's us good to go, and then we can save to disk.